friend, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joey and I am a full-time work-from-home stay-at-home mom. Now, when I was deciding to pull my son from daycare and keep him home with me full-time, I had a lot of questions. I was super curious about what this actually looked like. Now, when I made the decision to pull my son from daycare, my job at the time looked a little bit different. I was traditionally employed by a essentially 9-to-5 employer that required meetings, etc., etc. Thankfully, the company was really flexible and allowed me to keep my son home. Fast forward about 6 months, I lost my job, and now my working day looks a little bit different, though slightly similar. I have a traditional job that I give part-time hours to. That is a normal job that I essentially log my hours for. I make up the rest of my income by doing freelance client work, essentially offering the same type of services that I provide for my traditional regular job. I also am an author and do social media and YouTube and blogging and all that kind of stuff. I don't count any of that work in my daytime, full-time working hours, just in case you're curious. I think it's also very important to note at the top here that we eliminated screens back in January, so we are attempting to do this screen-free. Is it easy? No, it's not. Do I basically want to pull my hair out by the end of the day? Sometimes, yeah, I do. Are some days easier than others? Absolutely. If you've seen any of my previous vlogs, you know that I am an early riser and I tend to offer those morning hours to my deep focused work, things that I know are going to require me to get to a level of concentration that I just am not going to be able to get to with my son running around. Once my son is awake, there are still moments that I have to take care of tasks. I have a full-time job. These things require my attention. However, these tasks are a little bit easier to dip in and out of as my day is very start and stop, as you can probably imagine with a toddler running around. However, I will say that I don't find it to be all that dissimilar to being in an office. Think back to your traditional job, if you ever had one. When you're in an office, your colleagues are in your office having a conversation, you're getting up to go to the bathroom, you're stopping in the break room. There are interruptions all over the place. I worked at a job that it wasn't uncommon for essentially everything to go sideways, and everything you thought you were going to focus all of your attention on for the day did not happen. You spent your whole day out of your office handling something that was not at all part of your day-to-day tasks. I did also really want to make sure that if I was keeping my son home, that I was also offering him some type of childhood. I didn't want his day-to-day to be nothing but staring at me, staring at a screen. So you'll probably notice in this that a lot of the times that I'm eating, I'm also working, because I take the time that I would traditionally take as a break to eat lunch or whatever to actually do focused activities with my son. A lot of times that looks like going to the pool or going to a park or meeting up with friends and playing in their backyard for however long we have. A lot of times my computer is in tow, but that's okay. Whatever we've got to do, I will just say at the pool, I don't bring my computer. Please don't come for me. A lot of my friends who work from home and keep their children home also have a spouse or significant other who also work from home. So it's the two of them kind of tag teaming the child. That's not the case for me. It is just me and my kid in my house. And so when I have to take a phone call or have a meeting or whatever, that's when things get a little dicey, because I have a toddler who, when they see me engaged in any type of conversation that is not with them, he will scream at the top of his lungs. Luckily, I have a job and clients that are very understanding. But a lot of times, if I know it's going to be something really important, I will try to orchestrate some type of childcare, whatever that might look like. It's important that I say here that choosing to keep my son home while working full-time isn't without its sacrifices. Just like anything, there are pros and cons to it. And in this season of life, I'm comfortable with the fact that it is go, go, go from the time that I open my eyes to the time I go to sleep at night. I do try my best to make some time for myself, which is why I like to cook, or I'll go for a run or a walk or whatever once my husband is home from work. But the day looks very full. It feels very full, and it is exhausting. I'm not gonna lie to you. It takes a lot out of you, but I also know this is so very temporary. Before I know it, my kid will be in school full time and I'll have more hours in the day than I know what to do with. So for right now, I'm totally okay with everything being very, very full.